by their collaborators, and anyone who works with this screenwriter repeatedly has to know what's going on. I'd like to meet Matthew Vaughn's secret weapon, Jay Goldman. One of the funniest young guys in film today came out of an internet series called Michael and Clark. He is the star of Hot Tub Time Machine. Please welcome Clark Duke. I think casting the main character in this film wasn't easy. They had to find the exact right kid who was a mix of vulnerable and brave, geeky and cool, and I think the movie only works because they found him. Meet Aaron Johnson, Kick-Ass. There aren't many actors who can surprise you for 25 plus years, but this next man is the rare exception. He's the only person to ever make me laugh out loud and ruin a take on a film set. Big Daddy himself, Mr. Nicolas Cage. Of this next actor, you'll hear praise and outrage both over the performance. Why? Because she did her job right. Ladies and gentlemen, Chloe Moritz, hey girl. Watching her work on set reminded me of nights that I was in Northridge watching a movie called Superbad being filmed, and the first few nights of performance by a young man playing a character named McLovin. After this movie, I think you'll know him as Christopher Mintz-Plasse as well. Please welcome Christopher Mintz-Plasse. My first question, John, is for you. When I was on the set of Watchmen, and I got to watch Dave Gibbons walk around, and he was emotional about watching this thing getting carried around in his head for so many years come to life. You kind of had the opposite experience on this, because as you guys were creating the book, you were working with the filmmakers, so it was almost a cross-pollinization back and forth. Can you talk about the process of how this ended up in their hands, and then also what it was like for you to go through this experience with them simultaneously?
Well, I'm Sicilian, so bribery and threats work really well for me. Fortunately, Mark Miller's friends with Matthew, and Matthew was in need of a project, I was told, and Mark said I had this interesting project, and that's how it began. Mark and I were working on it, and we worked together on Wolverine, Enemy of the State. We had some success with that. And we enjoyed working together, and he just said, I have something that might be a gamble. And that was it. And my wife insisted on it. She loves gambling, so to speak. And that was about it. And to have it go on while we were working on it is one of two things: a great compliment to me, or just Matthew has good taste in comics.
Well, it was fascinating to be there, and in the production office they had rough sketches because there were issues that still were in process that weren't done yet. So Red Mist, for example, hadn't even been introduced while they were in the middle of production.
Right.
So how much of that was influenced by you coming to the production designer, and how much was you looking at what they were doing and saying, oh my gosh, I love this, and I'm going to incorporate it?
The costumes were completely different. There's nothing close about it, and I just went with what was in my mind, and apparently the designers and Matthew had something else in mind. I think they just kept the M logo for mine. It was about it. It's a completely different way of going with it, and it worked out great the way it is. I really am very happy with the way they came out with it. It's very good.
Jane, when you and Matthew decided to do this, like I said, it was unfinished, so it was kind of this huge act of faith on your part that this piece of material was not only going to be finished the way that you guys envisioned it, but that there was something there for you. What was it that hooked you in the original idea?
I think it was just one of those ideas that, you know, when it's told to you, even in 2 sentences, you just go, seriously, is that not been done before? You know, that's insane. Because it's one of those ideas that feels like it should already exist. And so even as just that fragment of an idea, which was what Mark told us at the outset, we both just latched onto it as a story we were excited about telling.
The inevitable controversy about Hit Girl in the movie has already begun to erupt as early reviews are coming in. You're the mother of 3 girls, so obviously you have very strong feelings about the images that you want to be part of and that you project. I think Hit Girl is a great character, but I understand where some of the furor comes from. Can you talk about how you approach the character in writing it, both on the page and on set?
Sure. Oh, actually, I've just got 2 girls and 1 boy, but
sorry.
Just in case my son's out there going, I'm not a girl. Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing was that to me, she felt like such a strong female character because of the fact that she was preteen. In so many ways, it was the fact that she was a non-sexualized, strong female character. It's almost unheard of in cinema. I mean, the only other comparable one I can think of is maybe Ripley from Alien. I mean, other than that, it's all sexy girls and guns, and you know, that's supposedly a strong female character, but to me, that's not actually what a strong female character is. And so, but yeah, no, so I mean, that, in some way, that was what struck me first, rather than the idea that people might be outraged. I mean, I find it extraordinary because we're so used to seeing women and children as the victims of violence. The fact that it should kick off when you suddenly see a child as a perpetrator of violence, surely that's less offensive. I don't know, to me that's less offensive. I just found it an interesting character, and you know, the interesting thing about controversy erupting over it is that actually, in terms of people who have actually seen the movie, I don't think I've heard any complaints yet. I think when people see it in context with the humour and the tone of the movie, it's not what